You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to tell you about all kinds of fun stuff that we have coming up. First of all, you can register to win some things right now at sunnyradio.com. If you go there, you'll see a button that says click to win tickets. When you click that, you're going to find some tickets. First of all, we've got tickets to see Grand Funk Railroad at Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort on Saturday, February 24th. 3 pairs of tickets that we're giving away, so go there, sign up to see if you can be a winner for one of those pairs. Also, we've got tickets to see Jordan Peterson. Dr. Jordan Peterson will be at the Denny Sanford Premier Center, and that is happening Tuesday, February the 20th. You can register to win tickets for that right now. We had already done a contest early, and we had all of our winners, and then they said, hey, you guys want to give away a few more tickets? I'm like, of course. If you haven't had a chance to buy tickets, if you haven't had a chance to win tickets, go and register now, sunnyradio.com. Again, click the button that says win tickets. We'll see if we can make you a big winner there. And you can also be a big winner at the 777 Casino. It's now open in the former VFW building from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m., 7 days a week. The address is 3601 South Minnesota Avenue, just off I-229 in the former Sioux Falls VFW building. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this morning.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. Excited to have Brent Baker in the studio. Brent, how are you, sir?
Great. It's always a great day when I get to record.
Yeah, he gets to come and hang out with us here at the radio, and he brings Bella, his puppy dog, with. And Brent is a real estate agent with Keller Williams and Clients First Realty, and we're going to talk today about some common overlooked maintenance items. And these are things that, as a realtor, you notice this stuff way before anybody else would notice this stuff. But this is stuff we should absolutely notice. If we're going to be buying a home and if we're going to be selling a home, we should know these things so we can make sure that it looks the best, it gets the most, it performs the best. So where would be a good place to start on this?
Well, this is a list that I put together, and I just showed a home that had some of these things, and some things I even found in my own home recently. We hear a lot of lists and common maintenance things, but there are things that people forget. Yeah. And especially if you put your house on the market in the winter, there are going to be things that you probably are difficult to deal with, but nonetheless still show up.
Yeah.
First impressions are a big, big deal, not just with people. So one thing that stands out is the trim and frames around doors, exterior doors. So when you walk up to the front door, especially garage doors, it seems, because they seem more neglected.
Okay.
There's always going to be, not always, there tends to be rot toward the bottom.
Like on the bottom of the brick mold?
Correct. I'm calling it trim because most people don't know what brick mold is, but the rot starts there or on the door frame if it's been left too long. Bottom of service doors tend to rust over time because here again, they've been neglected because people don't look at that.
They don't get used as much.
Correct. So there's the rotting of the wood, the frame, the brick mold, and just the rust of the metal door. Then we get into like overhead doors, and they will eventually rust as well. But one of the concerns and things I see is those rollers on the backside, on the inside of the garage.
Yeah.
The screws have come loose, the brackets are wobbly. The rollers may not have been ever lubed since the door was installed, and so the rollers they make noise, or they just don't move as easy. The the garage door opener has to work harder. There's cables.
Yeah.
And so sometimes those safety cables have broken or just aren't there, or they're loose. So there's things there that need to be maintained, and lubrication will make that overhead door work easier and last longer.
And it sounds so much better.
Much.
Because I remember we bought a house one time, and the garage door, it sounded like you were throwing a witch in boiling oil. This scream, and I went out with some WD-40 and sprayed everything down, and you still heard a door open, but it wasn't this awful sound anymore.
Correct. And that's something that obviously nobody wants to hear and is going to question some things. So eliminate problems for yourself as a homeowner and as a seller.
Absolutely.
Another area I look at when I'm walking around a house is the fascia, which is directly behind the gutters, and hopefully you have gutters. But that back there, sometimes water gets behind there because the drip mold is missing, there's a gap, there's rust, whatever. But that fascia will sometimes start to rot. And you will see it toward the bottom of the fascia. You'll see paint is missing, or it's starting to expand, or it's just outright deteriorating. The soffit, that's the part underneath the overhang of the roof. And there we see some similar problems at times. If it's leaking and the fascia is deteriorating, soffit is probably suffering as well. Or it's just starting to sag.
And these are all kind of the first line of defense from keeping the weather outside and the nice weather inside. So
correct.
That's all part of the envelope. It matters a lot.
It's a huge factor. And then, next thing I think about, and a fellow from my hometown who does a lot of roofing and construction just did a video. He pulled the soffit vents down on a house, and they were plugged. And he noted two things in his video. One, the soffit vents were too small for the size of the house, but also that they were plugged. So he was installing larger soffit vents and clearing things out. Your house has to breathe. It really does. And it does a lot of breathing through the attic. You have the soffit vents that take the air in, and then you have your attic vents either at the ridge or those metal vents that you see on the backside of your roof. That's where that heat has to expel, but your house does need to breathe.
And Brent, I think this is the perfect place to take a break, and we will start up on this list again next week. If somebody listening would like to connect with you, Brent, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you?
605-310-0297. You can call or text, or Brent Baker at kw.com.
Very nice. You can find him online as well and see listings and get more information at clientsfirstgroup.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
It's time now for This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry, the oldest jewelry store in South Dakota, using time-tested techniques to restore and repair jewelry, and using the latest technology to create custom pieces. Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry, 325 South Phillips Avenue, downtown Sioux Falls. It was on this day, February 12, 1938, a judge was born. Well, he wasn't a judge at birth, but happy birthday to Justice Richard Sabers, South Dakota Supreme Court Justice. Justice Sabers unfortunately passed away in January of 2022, just 1 month short of his 84th birthday. Richard Sabers was born and raised in Salem, South Dakota, before going to St. John College in Minnesota and joining the Army Corps of Engineers and spending years of his life stationed in Europe. In the early 1960s, he transitioned to the Army Reserves while he sought a law degree from USD. Upon graduation from USD and passing the bar, Justice Sabers practiced law in Sioux Falls for almost 20 years. On March 1st, 1986, Governor Bill Janklow appointed Justice Richard Sabers to to the South Dakota Supreme Court. He became one of the longest-serving judges in South Dakota history, serving on the bench until his retirement in 2008. Richard wanted to continue to serve on the Supreme Court. However, state law mandates justices must step down upon reaching the age of 70. Justice Sabers accepted his forced retirement, but continued to argue the mandatory retirement age should be 75. Justice Sabers was married to his wife Colleen in 1965. Together, they had 3 children. Colleen tragically passed away in 1998. Richard would remarry in 2000 to Ellie Schmitz. They split their time between Sioux Falls and winters in Arizona. Richard Sabers truly was a shining example of hard work, dedication, and moral values of Sioux Falls. We're proud that he served as such an exemplary ambassador to our great city for so many years. This day in Sioux Falls history has been brought to you by Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry at 325 South Phillips Avenue in downtown Sioux Falls.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.